Hey, this is Kat of Kattalestv, and I'm doing a video about racism. Yesterday in Charlottesville, Virginia, there was a KKK neo-Nazi White Nationalist march where people that follow that kind of thing came from different parts of the country to partake in harassing the people of Charlottesville. I was disgusted and saddened and frozen yesterday. I was on Twitter all day. I couldn't move. And so many things go in my head, I don't even know what to say. But the fact that a young lady was killed, standing up for freedom of speech because some asshole decided that he was frightened. So he drove through a crowd and then reversed his car, probably hit more people, and then drove away. But yet he had blacked out windows, and he was from Ohio, and he had no business being in there in the first place. And then it turns out he has a history of being kind of a white nationalist. And meanwhile, there was people dressed up in army gear with serious rifles, looking like they were legit police officer, military, and it turns out they were just a bunch of white guys playing dress up. They turned their back while a young teenager was beat up, while young white kids beat this teenager up. And what can I say? The fish rots from the head. And I blame Donald Trump for a lot of this, because in his rhetoric throughout his campaign, he was trying to act tough. He was trying to make Hillary Clinton look weak. He was stalking her when she was speaking, standing behind her during his speeches. He was, using threatening language. He's a bully and a pig. The sexual harassment didn't stop people from voting for him. The racism against Latinos didn't stop people voting for him. The history of him using illegal Polish workers to build Trump Tower didn't stop people from voting for him. All the lawsuits and the Trump University fraud didn't stop people from voting for him. His 3 marriages and alleged abuses of his former wives, that didn't stop people from voting for him. Discriminating against blacks in housing in the 70s didn't stop people voting for him. His casino failing didn't stop people voting for him. His inappropriate relationship with his daughter didn't stop people voting for him. And once he became in office, they kept saying, give him a chance, give him a chance. Well, look what you've brought. I am disgusted, flabbergasted, but also energized to do more. And I want to talk about racism to people who will actually listen. I have a lot of different friends, all different ages. I put race and ages together. All different races, all different ages, all different economic backgrounds. Let me just tell you 2 brief stories. There's some teenagers that I know in Beverly Hills, extremely wealthy. 2 of them or so have my number, because sometimes I don't know some of these sports players and they do. And then also one of them asked me to help out with an issue with someone, as like a big sister type of thing, where I just, gave him my 2 cents. So they have my number. But long story short, the story is, I got a text one day from one of these kids, and out of the blue, it had the N-word. Now, I was, I don't even know what the right word was, but I thought that was odd from this person, because never was like that. And when I saw him, the next time I saw him, I confronted him and said, what was up with that text? And he said, someone took my phone and thought it was funny. So, let me see if I can find it. I don't know if you can see this. So, I'm just gonna... Can I make this bigger? I don't even know if I want to show it, but... Well, I don't know how to do this. Because I don't want to show his phone number. But, anyway, if you can see that on the bottom. So, anyway, oh my god, I just hit something wrong, sorry. Hold on. I just want to make... hopefully you can see that. The yellow. So anyway, that was on my phone. So when I saw him, I was like, what's up with that? And I didn't say it in a mean way. I was just like, you know, I got my phone and blah, blah, blah. When I saw that, he's like, look, someone got my phone. And they texted not only you, but they texted some other girls and said horrible things. And then I said, well, which one of your friends did it? Because I know a lot of his friends, they come up and they say hi to me, blah, blah, blah. And he wouldn't tell me because he wanted to protect the friend. And then this has gone on for since, what is that, April? So a couple of weeks ago, one of his other friends that I saw, I said, who said it? Because he won't say it. And then he told me. And so I saw the kid, and when he saw me, he was acting all fake nice and stuff. So I didn't confront him or anything. And I have a friend named Dwayne. He's a real estate king. And he's black, older and wiser. And he said, I told him, I said, you know, it's real interesting. No matter how nice you are to certain people, they still want to bring up some bullshit. And I told him what happened. And he told me parts of his life story. And he just said, you know, when you see him, you know, just you know, talk to him about it. And so it was really funny. The guy actually walked by us while we were having lunch. And I said, see that kid? The tall one? That's the one. And he just looked at him and was like, And then, you know, I haven't talked to this kid yet. But this is the point that me and Dwayne were talking privately about. It's the family, it's the upbringing that causes racism. If you allow that, if you think it's cool, if you hear your dad or your mom or your grandpa or your uncle saying that kind of stuff and it's never really addressed, it becomes a norm. You know, I think it's funny. Luckily, I'm past a time in my life where I'm really upset with that. It just shows the quality of that person. The other issue is that considering how nice I am to these kids, you know, that's what was really interesting, is like, wow, they pulled that out of nowhere, really? But that's how some people are. No matter how nice you are, no matter how good you are, no matter how hard you work, no matter what you do, they still think it's funny or amusing to use the N-word. So to me, all this ties together, unfortunately. There's people who really think that they should be in power because they are white. Even though their ancestors stole wealth from a variety of people, whether it be Native American Indians or African Americans, or just, you know, labor that came in, and they, like the Chinese that came into America to help build the railroads, or the Irish, or the Italians, immigrants. They think it's their right to be robber barons, or whatever you want to call it. And it's in their DNA. I don't know how to deal with that. You know what I'm saying? I can only be me. But I just want to let you know, you can make a difference between racism and changing the dialogue and making sure your friends or your family members, you check them on certain things. You know what I'm saying? But America is going to go through a massive change. Maybe we need this. Maybe we need a bloodbath to cleanse ourselves of all the garbage that happened in the past. I don't know. But I'm not going to stand for this shit that happened in Charlottesville. I'm not going to do it. So that's just what I want to say. You know, be the change. The Man in the Mirror is a great song by Michael Jackson that says a lot. But, and also know, there's going to be people, no matter how well you are, no matter how smart you are, they're still going to use the N-word or whatever derogatory term they use for people. And you just have to let it just slide off your back. It's not you, it's them. So I hope that sheds some light on some ignorance. But Charlottesville Don't let people come into your town with guns. Don't make that the right to protest. And block off your streets. So if you have people standing around, don't have cars going in. That's just logic. You have to plan better than that. You're dealing with people. But also I noticed they treat white people differently than they treat people of color, because they knew those people were coming in, and the National Guard wasn't there, the tanks weren't there, all that stuff. And in Ferguson, all hell broke loose. So they definitely treat white men differently than they treat people of color. So check yourself before you wreck yourself. But also, Trump needs to be impeached. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. So thanks for watching. This is Kat of Kattalestv. Bye.